A reading from the book of the prophet Isaiah, chapter 19, against Egypt. Proclamation about Egypt. Look, the Lord is riding a swift cloud coming to Egypt. The false gods of Egypt tremble before him, and the heart of the Egyptians quails within it. I shall stir up Egypt against Egypt. They will fight one another, brother against brother, friend against friend, city against city, kingdom against kingdom. Egypt's spirit will fail within her, and I shall confound her plans. They will consult false gods and spirits of the dead, ghosts and sorcerers. And I shall hand Egypt over into the hands of a cruel master. A ruthless king will rule them, declares the Lord Sabaoth. The waters will ebb from the Nile. The river will dry up and run low. The canals will become foul. The rivers of Egypt will sink and dry up. Rushes and reeds will wither. The Nile plants on the banks of the Nile, all the vegetation of the Nile will wither, blow away, and be no more. The fishermen will groan. All who cast a hook in the Nile will lament. Those who spread nets on the waters will lose heart. The workers of carded flax and the weavers of white cloth will be confounded, the weavers dismayed, all the workmen sad at heart. Yes, the princes of Zoan are fools. Pharaoh's wisest counselors counsel folly. How dare you say to Pharaoh, I am descended from sages, from kings of former times. Where are these sages of yours? Let them tell you and make it known what the Lord Sabaoth has planned against Egypt. The princes of Zoan are fools, the princes of Noph beguiled. The leaders of her provinces have led Egypt astray. The Lord has poured into them a spirit of confusion. They have led Egypt astray in all she does, like a drunkard, staggering around as he vomits. There will be nothing to do for Egypt as top and tail, palm and reed used to do. That day Egypt will be like women, trembling and terrified at the raised hand of the Lord Sabaoth, which he raises against her. The land of Judah will strike terror into Egypt. Everyone to whom it is mentioned will be terrified because of the plan which the Lord Sabaoth has devised against her. That day in Egypt, there will be 5 towns speaking the language of Canaan and swearing oaths to the Lord Sabaoth. One of them will be called City of the Sun. That day, there will be an altar dedicated to the Lord in the middle of the land of Egypt, and a pillar dedicated to the Lord at the frontier. This will be a sign and a witness to the Lord Sabaoth in Egypt. When they cry to the Lord for help in the face of oppressors, he will send down to them a Savior to deliver them. The Lord will make himself known to Egypt, and the Egyptians will acknowledge the Lord that day and will offer sacrifices and grain offerings and will make vows to the Lord and perform them. And the Lord will strike Egypt, and by striking he will heal, and they will turn to the Lord, who will hear their prayers and heal them. That day There will be a highway from Egypt to Assyria. Assyria will have access to Egypt, and Egypt have access to Assyria. Egypt will worship together with Assyria. That day, Israel will make a third with Egypt and Assyria, a blessing at the center of the world, and the Lord Sabaoth will bless them in the words, "Blessed be my people, Egypt, Assyria, the work of my hands, and Israel, my heritage." The word of the Lord. A reading from the book of the prophet Isaiah, chapter 20. The capture of Ashdod by Sargon. The year the general-in-chief sent by Sargon, king of Assyria, came to Ashdod and made war on it and took it. At that time, the Lord spoke through Isaiah, son of Amos, and said, "Go, take off the sackcloth around your waist and remove the sandals from your feet." And he did so, and walked around naked and barefoot. The Lord then said, "As my servant Isaiah has been walking around naked and barefoot for the last 3 years, as a sign and portent for Egypt and Cush, so the king of Assyria will lead the captives of Egypt and the exiles of Cush, young and old, naked and barefoot, their buttocks bared, the nakedness of Egypt. Then they will be dismayed and ashamed of Cush, their hope, and Egypt, their pride. And the inhabitants of this coast will say on that day, 'Look what has happened to our hope, to those to whom we fled for help, to escape from the king of Assyria. How are we going to escape?'" The word of the Lord.